Tell me this. Why are younger women so often attracted to older men? It isn't just about money, status, or life experience, though those factors matter. The real answer runs deeper, buried in psychology and desire. Older men flirt in a different way. They don't rush, they don't beg, they don't waste effort proving their worth. Instead, they rely on subtle signals, light touches, dangerous pauses, whispers that belong only to her. Moves so powerful that a younger woman feels them in her body before her mind can process them. And once you understand these 7 flirting secrets, you'll see why older men never chase younger women. The women end up chasing them. 1. The gentle touch that seems accidental, but isn't. A single touch can speak louder than 1,000 words. Here's the truth most men never get. It's not about how much you touch her, but how little, and how deliberately. The older man, calm and experienced, never barges in like a boy desperate for attention. He knows the art of the almost accidental touch. The hand brushing her lower back as he passes, the fingertips grazing her arm when leaning closer. That fleeting contact that seems casual yet lingers just slightly too long. Why does it work? Psychology calls it sensory priming. The body responds to touch faster than it processes words. That feather, light graze fires signals into her nervous system, making her hyper-aware of him. The key is subtlety. Too much is invasive. Too little is forgettable. A woman's real craving is anticipation, not completion. It's the suspense of what might happen that electrifies her. Picture this. They're laughing, the mood playful. He leans forward, lays his hand on her arm as if by instinct, then pulls it back with a smile. That 1-second touch, disguised yet intentional, leaves her wondering, was that on purpose? Did I imagine that spark? And the more she thinks about it, the deeper it sinks. Younger men mess this up. They either touch too aggressively, making her recoil, or never touch at all, draining the moment of life. But the older man walks the razor's edge perfectly. He knows the truth. The most powerful touch isn't obvious. It's the one that feels like an accident, but isn't. 2. The deep, slow voice that pulls her in. Words are only half the message. The other half is in the delivery. An older man doesn't rely on cheesy pickup lines or big declarations. His weapon is his voice. When he speaks, it's slower, deeper, deliberate. He doesn't rush to kill silence. He lets it linger, makes her lean in, makes her wait. And the waiting, that's where seduction lives. Psychologists call this paraverbal dominance. Tone, rhythm, and pacing communicate more than content. A deep, steady voice signals maturity, control, sexual confidence. It vibrates in her body before it reaches her brain. That's why a calm sentence can feel more powerful than a boy's 100 frantic jokes. Picture this. The room is loud, conversation's buzzing. He leans slightly toward her, not too close, and drops his tone lower, slower, so she must lean in to catch his words. In that moment, the crowd vanishes. It feels like only 2 people exist, sharing a secret frequency. Younger men ruin it by talking too fast, too loud, chasing validation with noise. The older man knows silence paired with a slow voice becomes magnetic. Each pause builds suspense. Each word lands heavier. And here's the secret. Women don't remember every word you speak. They remember how your voice made them feel. A deep, calm tone doesn't just make her listen. It makes her imagine. She doesn't lean in only to hear you. She leans in because subconsciously she wants more. 3. The eyes that undress her without a touch. If touch is the first spark and voice is the fire, then the eyes are the flame that consumes her. A woman knows when a man looks at her with desire. But when an older man holds her gaze, not desperately, not creepily, but steady and confident, something stirs deep inside her. His eyes don't dart nervously. They stay deliberate, almost saying, I see you. All of you. Psychologists call it the extended gaze effect. Sustained eye contact raises oxytocin, builds connection, amplifies attraction. But it's not just about looking, it's how you look. A quick glance feels casual. A nervous stare feels weak. A steady gaze followed by a slow smile makes her feel both wanted and disarmed. Picture this. She's telling a story. Most men would wait impatiently for their turn to talk. But he's just watching, eyes locked, subtle smile, silent patience. She feels it. She trips over a word, laughs nervously, looks away then back. Her body betrays her because his eyes have already undressed her, stripping away the shields she hides behind. You don't need to touch to seduce. Sometimes the way you look at her, steady, grounded, unapologetic, is enough to unravel her. The look lingers in her mind, haunting her like a song she can't shake. Younger men scatter their focus. Phones, the room, other women. But the older man knows focus is rare. He knows his eyes are sharper than his hands. And when he locks in, she feels naked, not from what he's done, but from how deeply she's been seen. 4. The whisper that exists only for her. There's a reason whispers drive women wild. They bypass logic and hit the body like a secret vibration. An older man understands this. He doesn't raise his voice to compete in a noisy room. He leans closer, lets his breath brush her ear, and delivers something playful. Something only she hears. It doesn't matter if it's a teasing joke, a sly observation, or a disguised compliment. What matters is the intimacy. Psychologists call it proximal communication. The closer the voice, the stronger the emotional impact. By whispering, he collapses distance, creating a private world only they share. Younger men miss this. They talk too loudly, too eagerly, performing for the crowd. The older man knows seduction thrives in exclusivity. A whisper is a bond, a secret. It says, "This moment is ours." She won't remember the exact words. She'll remember the warmth of his breath, the tingling of her skin, the goosebumps her body betrayed. A whisper isn't information, it's sensation. 5. The way he commands space without speaking. Confidence doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's silent, written in posture, stillness, presence. An older man doesn't fidget, doesn't shrink, doesn't fold into himself. He enters a room as if he belongs. Not arrogantly, not forcefully, but with calm energy that makes people notice him without effort. Psychologists call it spatial dominance. People judge status by how someone uses space. A man who slouches, avoids eye contact, shifts nervously, screams insecurity. But the man who stands tall, sits relaxed, moves with intention, he radiates power. Subtle power is magnetic. Younger men compete too loudly, laughing big, gesturing wildly, overcompensating with energy. But the older man knows less is more. He lets silence speak for him. His stillness becomes a statement. Women are drawn to the man who doesn't try to own the room, but naturally does. He doesn't orbit others. Others orbit him. And when she notices, she feels it. This man doesn't need approval. He is the approval. 6. The dangerous pause before the smile. A smile can melt a heart, but its timing can set fire. An older man doesn't grin instantly when she looks at him. He holds her gaze, lets silence stretch, lets her feel the weight of it. Then he smiles. That pause makes everything shift. Why? Psychology calls it delayed reward anticipation. When the brain expects something and it's delayed, dopamine spikes. Suspense makes movies addictive. It makes flirting electric. The pause builds tension. The smile explodes it. Picture this. She says something clever. Instead of laughing immediately, he watches her, unreadable. Then slowly a smile spreads. She feels adrenaline rush because in that pause, she didn't know. Was he amused? Unimpressed? That uncertainty sparks desire. Younger men give it away too fast, smiling eagerly, wasting their power. The older man makes her earn it. He lets her feel the tension, then rewards her with warmth. In that moment, she feels chosen. The pause before the smile isn't hesitation, it's seduction. It says, "I see you. I'm deciding how much to show. And now, you've earned it." 7. The silence that pulls her in stronger than any line. Younger men panic in silence, filling it with chatter, jokes, stories, afraid of losing her attention. But the older man knows silence is power. He lets it breathe. He lets her words linger. He studies her calmly, intensity in his stillness, until her heart races. That silence becomes electric, almost unbearable, until she feels it, leaning closer, speaking more, or touching him. Psychologists call it tension, building silence. Humans naturally rush to close gaps. And when he doesn't, she feels compelled to. She begins chasing his approval, his reaction, his attention. Silence isn't emptiness. It's space for desire to grow. Paired with steady eyes, relaxed posture, and that dangerous half smile, silence seduces louder than any line. So here's the truth no one tells you. Women aren't pulled to younger men who try too hard, too loud. They're drawn to older men who flirt with mastery. The touch that feels accidental. The voice that makes her lean in. The eyes that undress without contact. The whisper, the posture, the pause before the smile, and the silence hotter than words. These aren't tricks. They're signals of control, maturity, and power. And women can't resist them. Because deep down, every woman wants the man who doesn't beg for attention, but makes her crave his. If you're ready to learn more forbidden secrets of attraction, the psychology women live by but never admit, hit subscribe now and drop the word magnet in the comments. Become the man women chase, instead of the man chasing them. Because once you master these flirting techniques, you'll never see women, or yourself, the same way again.